Yeah. Okay, so I needed a third viewpoint. I had the hero, I had the heroine, but I needed the third viewpoint to carry the mystery on through. And so I went back and I realized, well, we have them confused, confused people. But what I needed was a different viewpoint, like maybe even the murderer. And you don't need to say who the murderer is. You know, you're just telling the viewpoint from his or her viewpoint, and you don't have to say who it is. The book Red Hawk, Red Hawk's Woman was one of my mysteries. And there's another book that was a mystery, which was Lakota Princess. Those two have been my mysteries, you know, out of my 16 books. So I only have two. You guys probably have much more experience than I do. But in each one, I found that it was very necessary to have that third viewpoint or fourth or fifth viewpoint in order to move the mystery through, in order for not the heroine and hero to know what's going on, but for the reader to know what's going on. The reader won't know who the murderer is. You, of course, never give that away until the end. But you can have the murderer in there, in his viewpoint, and telling it from that point of view. Okay, that's another example of something that you might find. Let me think of another example, because I almost always get into writer's block. Is there anyone here who does write on deadline? Okay. You write on deadline?
No, I think you're next door.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because it's a luxury, I call it a luxury. Because writing under deadline, you don't have the luxury of stepping back from it for a week and just letting it gel, and then coming back and going forward. You know, or particularly if you're writing a contemporary, stepping back and going out. You know, go and visit whatever it is that you're writing about and see it. For a historical author, some of the things are research. You know, go research in that area. Maybe you didn't get your scene right. The setting itself can have a lot to do with your writer's block. There was that one scene that I was telling you about, but there was another book that I did, which was, what was the name of that one? I don't know. I think it was Wolf Shadow's Promise. Wolf Shadow's Promise. And she had a tunnel that had been discovered. And I had come up with this idea when I went through Montana and Wyoming, and we went down in some mines. And I came up with this idea of the heroine having a mine under the fort where she was. Well, outside of these 2 times that I went into a cave, I didn't know anything about it. And so I had to do a lot of research. I went and I looked at caves. Did you know, by the way, this is just offhand, did you know that those rocks in those caves are considered alive? Did you know that? They grow, they multiply. If you touch them, they die. It takes them thousands of years to live again. Isn't that amazing? That's why when you go into a lot of these caverns, they say, do not touch the rocks, because they're alive. Isn't that interesting? Just an aside.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Oh, okay. Well, once again, I will just take any other questions if you have anything at all. Yes?
I was just wondering, what's your main theme about the relationship for it to be satisfying? Is it trusting each other? What holds your character together?
It really
depends. All your books, though, I'm really fascinated.
You have?
No, I want to.
Oh, okay. It's different with every story, to tell you the truth. It's as you write, your characters are different people.
Is trust one of your trusting the other person, relying on them, or
Not necessarily.
Some of these writers always talk about that they I can't remember her name, but she's written a heck of a lot. She and her husband write a mystery series. She was in Orange County. Who was I talking about? Anyway, that was what she said. That she finally decided that it was having to trust each other it wasn't so much the love, but it's that basically.
Wow. Now see, with my characters, mostly a lot of times throughout the whole book, they do not trust each other. In Red Hawk's Woman, they both suspected each other as the villain. Let's see, and a few other books like that, they have distrust of each other. Usually for them to make love, it has to do with animal magnetism, for one thing, kindness, and both of them spot different qualities in the other that they admire. You know, like in him, she might spot a quality of truthfulness, or she might spot, or he might come to her rescue, or something like that. And then she might look at him with a different eye, you know, sort of like, wow. This happens in my new book. You know, there's like I said, it's in the vein of Last of the Mohicans. And so there's a big water scene. And the hero comes to the heroine's rescue quite a few times. And that's when she sort of steps, well, actually, it may come before that, but okay. But, you know, during this, she is stepping back and having a look. Now, any more questions? And then I have one announcement before I want to, did you have a question? Or? Oh, okay, good. So I want to tell you, I am going to be giving away at least one book for each person that buys one of my new ones. I brought some of my backlist. So you'll get 2 books for one. It's just like a little special that I'm doing. I came home from Florida and cleaned house, and I found a bunch of my books, and I went, oh, I'll give these away. So for today, it's a twofer. 2 for 1.
Woo!